like is even if he's posturing, I'm the A side, da-da-da, Ryan is willing to do things to make fights happen. He was willing essentially to say Tank could be the A side. Yep. Like, let's make the fight happen. So whatever Ryan's saying, I have confidence that he'll do what it takes to make the fight happen.
But the fact that Ryan, has gone through 3 top trainers that would have done a great job, Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, and Derek James.
Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because he's the boss. That's why.
He gonna win this fight. He gonna win this fight.
I don't know.
He got to.
Guys,
Max Kellerman has given a very honest breakdown of the potential fight between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn, saying this is not just a normal boxing matchup but a clash that could define both fighters' careers. According to him, when elite-level talent and different fighting styles come together like this, the outcome depends on more than just power or hype.
He has one belt right now. And yeah, he may have the most followers, but those followers are going to follow him into the ring.
Well, I mean, it depends. They might follow him to their TVs, and that does something too. Haney has fought his last couple fights on undercards, including Mike Coppinger, Ryan Garcia undercard. So who's the A side?
Look, Ryan's the bigger star, obviously. You see social media following and all that, but in today's boxing landscape, Max, I think you can't have a
becomes about timing, ring IQ, and the ability to adapt under pressure. Kellerman suggested that Ryan Garcia's speed, natural talent, and sharp boxing instincts could create serious problems for Benn. He implied that Benn would need to find a way to deal with Ryan's movement and quick combinations, which is never an easy task at the highest level of boxing. Kellerman further explained that big fights like this are often decided by who can think smarter inside the ring rather than who is simply stronger.
The thing with him is, we ain't gonna have this problem with A side, B side. Which I want to fight.
How important is it?
How it's not.
Exactly.
I'm just curious. Like, sometimes it's just an interesting thought. Like, who is at this moment, if they're debating it, who would you guys say it is? Ryan Garcia looked fantastic. Yes, it was against Barrios, but he really did look fantastic.
He pointed out that Ryan Garcia has clear advantages in speed and timing, which could allow him to control distance and land clean shots. Because of that, he raised concerns about whether Conor Benn has enough technical tools and experience to fully handle a fighter like Ryan. In his view, Benn's pressure style alone may not be enough if he cannot close the gap effectively. Kellerman made it clear that while Benn is tough and dangerous, Ryan's skill set might make this a very difficult challenge for him. Other boxing analysts, including Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora, also discussed the matchup and agreed that Ryan Garcia has the ability to seriously trouble Conor Benn.
Asked a very direct question. This is first thing. He don't know me that well yet. Who do you want? Like, who's the guy?
Garcia.
Yeah, that's all I want to hear.
There's plenty of fighters calling me out, so we'll see what's there. Whatever fight the public want, they can get. I'm here because I want to make the biggest fights possible. I want to make the most memorable nights in boxing. The ones where people go, God, what a fight, what a night. Something to remember, history made, legacy made. That's why.
They believe Garcia is not just fighting for attention or hype, but is actually stepping into a fight that could push him closer to world championship level. In their opinion, Ryan's speed, timing, and punch accuracy give him the tools to hurt Benn and potentially knock him down. However, they also emphasized that success in this kind of fight will not come from power alone. It will require patience, smart decision-making, and the ability to stay calm under pressure when Benn comes forward aggressively. According to them, Ryan Garcia should not be seen as just a social media star or a popular name in boxing.
The thing that you know for sure about this fight is it's going to be fun as hell. The lead-up's going to be fun with both of their attitudes. They're going to be talking mad shit. And I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about in press conferences. I'm talking about media workouts. The whole build-up, they're going to be getting at each other. And you know for damn sure that the fight itself is going to be a...
They argue that his skill set proves he is a genuine top-level contender. His fast hands, natural reflexes, and ability to counterpunch make him a real threat for anyone in the division. In their eyes, Ryan belongs in serious competitive matchups where elite fighters are tested against each other, not just in entertainment-driven fights. They believe his talent is real enough to compete at the highest level and that Conor Benn would have to deal with a much more complete boxer than many people assume.
Still Suleiman in the WBC, he confirmed that his damn self.
We have a board, 36 members from all over the world, and they are the ones that vote on every single matter. okay, Conor Benn, he has not fought in the division, but we consider that he is of the highest level. He was ranked in welterweight for many years, and he has sent his weight continuously to the WBC, so we know, monitoring, that he is a natural welterweight and he will be competing safely in that division.
Conor's a free agent. It was a one-fight deal, but the target will be to fight Ryan Garcia. And again, everything else is in the past and looking to move forward.
So Conor Benn is no longer with Zuffa. It was just a one-fight deal. And speaking of one-fight deal, they're both big bag fighters. Conor Benn making that bag against Chris Eubank 2 damn times, and now $15 million.
Former world champion Sean Porter also shared his perspective after sparring with Conor Benn, saying Benn is an intense and physically strong fighter who brings real pressure in the ring. However, when comparing him to Ryan Garcia, Porter suggested that Ryan's speed and sharpness could create major difficulties for Benn. He explained that if Ryan is able to maintain his rhythm and fight at full sharpness, he has the style to frustrate Benn and potentially control large parts of the fight. In Porter's view, Benn is dangerous, but Ryan's natural boxing ability could give him the upper hand in a high-level showdown. In recent weeks, Ryan Garcia has also been very active in interviews and media appearances, which has kept him constantly in the spotlight. These interviews are being watched by large audiences and are building even more anticipation around his next fight. Every time he speaks, the hype around his return to the ring continues to grow.
Ryan Garcia, not considered a small guy. We know Conor Benn's not considered a small guy. Both of these guys are big punchers. Both of these guys got speed. Both of these guys are dynamic. I cannot wait to see both of those guys share the ring together and fight for the WBC title, with Ryan Garcia being the defendant.
At the same time, it is clear that Ryan's focus is fully locked in on preparation and the challenges ahead. He has also described the rivalry with Conor Benn as something that has been building for a long time, with tensions increasing over time. What started as small exchanges has now developed into a much more serious situation where both fighters seem ready to settle things inside the ring rather than through words. Conor Benn, on the other hand, believes Ryan Garcia is being overrated by fans and media. In his opinion, Ryan is a talented fighter but not someone who is unbeatable or far above him in skill level. Benn feels that a lot of Ryan's reputation comes from his popularity, social media presence, and hype rather than consistent elite performances inside the ring.
Ain't by any of them. I like Ryan. I think he's. Well, I don't like Ryan. No, I don't like him. I don't know where I was going with that. Do you know what I like about Ryan? Is he is what he is. He's entertaining. He brings chaos. You know, because it's boring. Who wants to sit on the fence? Who wants to be boring? Speak what you want to say and say it. Own it. No, I pay money.
Because of this, Benn is confident that he can win this matchup if it happens. He believes his aggressive pressure, physical strength, and non-stop work rate would create constant problems for Ryan from the very first round. In simple terms, Benn sees this as a winnable fight where he can break Ryan down and take control. Ryan Garcia is also a very unique figure in boxing because his fame extends far beyond the sport itself.
Here is the announcement, and I thought this was really well done. I thought this was really cool to see. Not only yesterday did Ryan Garcia go on the ESPN First Take show with Stephen A. Smith, but he also went on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and announced this last night on the Tonight Show. That's a big-time treatment. I know that, right now announcements are flying left and right with big-time fights. And he walked up on Ryan, and I guess because Ryan put his arm around him, but Ryan wasn't trying to be physical.
He has massive social media influence and a huge fan following, which often leads to debate about whether his popularity matches his actual boxing achievements. This creates pressure every time his name is mentioned in big fights like this. When matched with someone like Conor Benn, who is known for toughness and a straightforward fighting style, the discussion becomes even more intense. It is no longer just about skills, but also about reputation, expectations, and who can prove themselves under pressure when the spotlight is at its brightest. Oscar De La Hoya believes that if this fight between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn happens, it would be far from an easy night for Benn. He suggests that even if Ryan Garcia is not at his absolute peak form, he still remains a very dangerous opponent because of his natural speed, timing, and punching ability. In Oscar's view, these qualities alone are enough to cause serious problems for Benn inside the ring.
Let it slip, he just said it.
I'm fighting Conor Benn next, September. I don't think he said where. Maybe he did. Las Vegas, I'm guessing, right? And yeah, that's it. So now we know Conor Benn will fight Ryan Garcia for the WBC welterweight title in September.
He also warned people not to judge Ryan only based on recent performances or inactivity, because a fighter with his talent can become dangerous at any moment once the fight begins. From his perspective, Benn would still have a very tough challenge regardless of Ryan's current condition. Oscar also highlighted that Ryan Garcia is now competing at a much higher level in boxing, where every fight carries major stakes, pressure, and opportunity. He explained that when a fighter is constantly involved in big fights and title conversations, it naturally improves their confidence, experience, and overall sharpness. Because of this, Oscar believes Conor Benn would struggle to handle someone who is already operating at that elite level.
Garcia, trust me, I've been over there to do Ryan fights. I've been over there, I've been out with Ryan. Ryan gets no hate. Ryan, like, literally nothing. Like, there is Devin Haney gets hate more than Ryan, even though Ryan beat Devin Haney with PEDs in his system. So Ryan doesn't get any hate. But over here, I mean, Jesus Christ, we don't go around when it comes to Conor Benn. You know what I mean? It's very interesting how Americans view it compared to how we view it. Because there are a lot of big named American fighters that have popped and they're adored. I think that's the bigger fight. I really do. I think that just does bigger numbers in America than Conor Benn. But Conor Benn has grown a fan base in America. Like in fact, fan base, is that the right word? He's grown an audience. People know who he is. Because of Shakur Stevenson calling him out. Like, Shakur got arguably his biggest win of his career, and the first thing he does.
In his opinion, Benn does not yet have the same level of experience or exposure to top-tier competition as Ryan, which could become a major factor if they meet in the ring. Oscar further emphasized that the gap in experience and high-level competition could play a key role in deciding the fight. He believes Ryan Garcia has already faced tougher opposition in bigger fight situations, which prepares him better for pressure moments. Benn, while strong and determined, may not have been tested in the same way at the highest level.
Yes, if you're Ryan, and Ryan will be a favourite to beat Conor Benn, quite a big favourite, I think. Ryan's probably thinking, I beat Conor Benn, then I do Devin Haney, and then maybe somehow, I don't know if it all works out, have the Shakur Stevenson super fight, maybe. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's the news, people. That fight will happen in September. It'll be interesting to see how Conor Benn physically looks. I just went onto Conor Benn's Instagram page. He's always training. So I guess he has to stay around a certain weight now so that weight cut isn't difficult. Because at 150, he still looked didn't look right for me at 150. It's been a long time though that his body's got down to that weight. So yeah, I think he will probably start from a lighter point just to make that final weight cut easier. But look, if it's the Ryan Garcia that turned up against Barrios, Conor's got an issue. But Conor Benn, woo.
Because of this, Oscar sees Ryan as the fighter more likely to stay composed and adjust during difficult rounds. In simple terms, he feels Ryan's experience gives him a clear advantage in handling big fight pressure compared to Benn. The rivalry between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn has also started to move beyond boxing and into personal territory.
Conor Benn, a lot of people felt that he didn't do good. A lot of people felt that Conor Benn is not prepared for the likes of a Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Haney, in which they reacted to his victory via Twitter. Well, X, formerly known as Twitter. To be honest, I don't think that the skills was really the issue. I'm not like putting him on an IG, I'm trying to discredit Conor Benn and skills and talent and devalue him. For me, it wasn't even about that, because leading up to this fight, or the potential of Conor Benn going back down to the 147-pound division, we all know that he beat Chris Eubank Jr. in his last outing prior to the Regis Prograis fight at middleweight division, right? In the middleweight division, he campaigned in. Coming back down, I already knew that he was not going to look good. I think it's not a good move for him to go to 147. I think, the money is there with Ryan Garcia. But when it comes to, this is what I'm saying, when it comes to Conor Benn, though, with the UK market, he's always going to do good. He doesn't have to, cut weight like that. He doesn't have to feel uncomfortable. And put it this way, does he really care about the belts? No. So he don't gotta go back to 147. He could be fighting catchweights like he did with Regis Prograis and stuff like that. But even at 150, he ain't look good. You know? So I think that Conor Benn is a good fighter. He's better, in my opinion, than what we
suggests that tensions escalated after an incident at an award show, where comments made by Benn reportedly crossed the line and irritated Ryan. What was already a competitive build-up between the two suddenly became more emotional and intense.
It will be the hardest fight of his career to date. One thing about Conor Benn, you know, as much as my views may have changed personally, he trains very hard. He'll give it his all. You know, it's going to be a great fight, and it will be an entertaining fight, I'm sure. You know, I think Ryan Garcia, though, arguably, he's another level to the opponents he's been in terms of levels. But, you know, I can't write Conor off. I'm not going to sit here and write him off in that fight, because he's going to go out there. This changes his life. He's had a dream to become the WBC world champion. I'd anticipate that belt is on the line, unless there's any differences with Zuffa.
From that moment, the atmosphere completely changed, and both fighters appeared more focused on proving a point rather than just winning a fight. In boxing, moments like this often add extra fire to a matchup, turning it into something fueled by pride as much as skill.
Conor Benn into a fight with Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, look, I said it publicly before. You know, it was a huge fight. I said the build-up for it will be massive. It's two big characters in Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia. You know, from the UK, US coming together. I guess they do it in the US, in Vegas probably. So yeah, of course, if we were still promoting Conor Benn, of course that would be a fight that we would target. And wish them both all the best.
Analysts studying this potential fight generally lean toward Ryan Garcia as the favorite. They believe his speed, timing, and technical boxing ability give him an edge over Conor Benn. Ryan's ability to move, counter-punch, and create angles makes him a difficult target for aggressive fighters. While Benn's pressure style and toughness are respected, experts feel he may struggle to consistently close distance against someone as quick and accurate as Ryan. However, they also note that boxing is unpredictable, and one mistake or lapse in focus could completely change the direction of the fight. Eddie Hearn also shared his opinion, stating that while Ryan Garcia is a strong fighter, boxing still has clear levels. In his view, fighters like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney sit at the very top tier of the sport, slightly above Ryan in overall consistency and skill.
Ryan Garcia is gonna be box office. Like, they're gonna sell the crap out of that fight. That is going to be a huge, huge deal because of how popular Conor is overseas. Or maybe not even popular, just known. He might be a little bit polarizing. I would say he's probably more well-known than Devin is here in America. He's more well-known in the UK than Devin is here in America. And he's just going to sell the crap out of it. I'm curious to see how it goes because Ryan's been a little Jekyll and Hyde these days. You see Ryan against Devin, he looks fantastic. Then he comes back in Times Square, he doesn't look all that great. Then he comes back and he fights Mario Barrios and he looks great again. And so which version of Ryan Garcia is going to show up and which version of Conor Benn is going to show up? The Conor Benn that we saw against Regis Prograis wasn't all that great. The Conor Benn that we saw last time out against Chris Eubank 2 fights ago, rematch, looked phenomenal. And so there's a
I'll try my best though.
Hey, what round is Conor Benn going to sleep?
Oh, he's gonna go to sleep in round 6 or 7.
Are you excited?
Of course, man. We're gonna beat. You know that.
He called you out again today.
Oh, it's insane. He acts like I have a contract. Brother, I don't have a contract. You know.
How you been, Ryan? Good.
I've been good. Yeah,
You been training?
I've been training hard. Once you're a champion, you gotta stay a champion. You know what I mean?
Yo, Ryan.
Thank you, buddy.
Ryan.
Conor, I just want to say I'm one of your biggest fans, bro. I just put you. I'm not a fan of you. Wait, Conor, are you there?
Conor don't want to talk.
Conor.
Scared.
Conor just home, Conor.
He ate too much.
Conor.
Now that nigga was really off Austrian.
Nah, bro, these PEDs crazy right now. They speaking for real, man.
Yo, Conor, you want me?
He ain't gonna speak. He ain't gonna speak, man. He ain't gonna speak.
Yo, Josh, get your boy. Josh, get your boy.
Conor.
Conor Nigel. Conor Nigel bad.
Conor Nigel.
Conor Nigel bad.
Hey Ryan, let the PED speak, man. He ain't gonna speak for. He ain't gonna speak for.
You can see the PEDs in.
However, when it comes specifically to a matchup with Conor Benn, Hearn still sees Ryan as the clear favorite. He believes Ryan's speed and natural ability would be too much for Benn over the course of a full fight. Benn's aggression may create moments of danger, but Hearn feels Ryan's overall boxing skills would control the outcome. Regis Prograis also supports the idea that Ryan Garcia has strong advantages in this matchup, especially when it comes to natural boxing talent. He highlights Ryan's hand speed, quick reactions, and especially his left hook, which he describes as one of the most dangerous weapons in the sport. According to Prograis, Ryan's punching power adds another layer of danger because in boxing, one clean shot can completely change a fight instantly. Even against a strong and aggressive opponent like Conor Benn, that kind of power combined with speed makes Ryan a constant threat. In his view, this combination of speed and power is what makes Ryan extremely difficult to deal with in any matchup,